Hey everyone, this is the Gridiron Review, and this is our 2024 NFL Draft top wide receivers. If you enjoy NFL Draft content and college football content, give us a like, subscribe, and check out our channel and website for more content. This is a very, very strong class, so we're going to be doing our top 10, all of which have first round grades in our opinion. Doesn't mean that's where they'll go, but they are all very good. Starting off at number 10, we have one of our most controversial opinions in this whole draft class, and that is Malik Nabers not being one of the absolute best receivers in this class. And that really has to do more so with the strength of this class as a whole rather than Nabers himself. That being said, we know he's viewed as possibly as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't see it that way. He plays most of his snaps out of the slot. He rarely had to play press coverage. His routes are more rounded than sharp, and his hands come and go. We have some slight concerns about his role at the NFL level being anything more than a slot receiver. He has the athleticism to do so, although we don't take pro day numbers all that serious. If he was going to test that well, why didn't he just do it at the combine? Regardless, there are enough concerns in our opinion, and just other players in this class do stuff better than Nabers. Again, not to say he's not a bad player, he's a first round grade, and we just see him similar to someone to Pierre Garçon. Moving on to number 9, we have one of our biggest sleepers at the receiver position. Now, Javon Baker is getting some notice. It's not like he's going completely under the radar, but there's not many in this class that are better at catching the ball away from his body than Baker is. He played with really lackluster talent on the UCF roster, and he still found a way to shine. He is a decent athlete, though not insanely special. He's very good after the catch. He's got very good hands, and he just reminds me and us a lot of Rashee Rice coming out of SMU. And we think Baker gets taken on day 2, but ends up outperforming his draft slot pretty early on. Next, we have Jermaine Burton. Now, his inability to truly take over the Alabama wide receiver room could be cause for pause. However, we think that's more to do with Alabama's transition to a more run-first offense. Burton is a very good route runner. He's got great athleticism. He's a little undersized and a little slim, but he's going to be a very good number 2 in this league, in our opinion. He's a little bit bigger than Brandin Cooks, but in a similar way, he can play the slot or outside and be very productive. The more we see of A.D. Mitchell, the more we like him. We know we have him as a draft projection early round 2, but he's very likely going to be taken in the round 1, and he has been round 1 in our mocks. He's got great speed as for his testing, or proven by his testing in the combine rather, and his hands are some of the best in this class. We think he doesn't play up to his size as much as he could, but he's going to be a very dependable target who can do a lot for a team and is the upside of a number 1. Ladd McConkey is the best route runner in this class, and we don't view it as all that particularly close. He's also one of the best, if not the best, after the catch. He's basically a running back with the ball in his hands. He has a glaring weakness, and that's tracking and catching deep passes. It's just a very odd situation where he really struggles. Maybe he needs glasses or something. We're not really sure, but anything underneath and in the middle of the field, and even on stuff like jet sweeps, he's going to be extremely valuable to these teams that draft him. And we think he plays very similar to Jerry Jeudy, but the comps to Garrett Wilson that we've seen are not all that far off, although we had Wilson as a better prospect coming out of college. Odunze is unfortunately becoming the victim of unfair expectations to us. The comps to Larry Fitzgerald are just setting expectations, like we said, that are unfair, unreal, and unattainable for Odunze. He is still a very good prospect. He can play inside and outside. He's got experience lining up all over the field. He's very good with the ball in his hands. Very powerful runner. We see him as Deebo Samuel, but bigger. We're not sure that Odunze's ceiling is going to ever be true elite number 1, but it's possible. It is definitely possible. Xavier Legette carries some of the most risk of the top wide receivers in this class, but we feel like it's worth it. He, even though his testing was great but not the best, he hits another gear on film that not many in this class do at any position. He's also built with a ton of muscle. He's very strong at going up and getting the ball and high-pointing catches. His hands, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. And the risk is that he is kind of a one-year wonder, and he's very new to the position. But if this is what he's doing so new, we think he could have a massive upside. And he's got a very similar profile to A.J. Brown, albeit with more risk, like we said. Keon Coleman ran a disappointing 40 time, but when you watch film, that's not what he's good at. He excels at bullying corners, being very physical with them, going up and getting passes, and he's going to be a rebounder for some team and going to be a menace in the red zone. Initially, our thoughts while watching him was Mike Evans because he's also subtle after the catch. And when he ran the gauntlet drill, he ran it the fastest of anyone there, which kind of got rid of any concerns we had based on his 40 time. However, he measured in a little bit smaller, a lot lighter than Evans, and did run slower. And his numbers, as well as his play style, matches up similar to Allen Robinson. And while that's not the most glowing comp in the modern NFL, it's not too long ago that Allen Robinson was one of the best receivers in the league, doing a lot with very little quarterback play. We are under the belief that Brian Thomas Jr. is the LSU wide receiver to have this year. He's got an insane athletic profile, and it shows on film. He is an amazing deep ball tracker. He goes up and gets the passes, and his 40 time is just mind-blowing. There's not really a modern NFL player that compares well with what he can do, both as an X receiver, after the catch, route running, just everything. And the closest we could find is Braylon Edwards, which is a blast from the past, but coming out, he was taken 3rd overall, and he had off-the-field concerns that ultimately killed his career, but he was special out of Michigan. We truly believe Brian Thomas Jr. has the upside, the ability to be one of the best receivers in this league. Coming in at number 1 is Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, we will be the first to admit his pre-draft process has been odd to say the least, but based on the film, Harrison Jr. is the best in this class. He's got the lineage, he's got the size, he has the athleticism. He's not the best athlete in this class, he's not the biggest receiver in this class, but he's a great combination of everything you look for in a prototypical wide receiver 1. He is very, very similar to Demaryius Thomas coming out, and as long as his team meetings go well, we'd be shocked if Arizona passes on being able to take him unless they get blown away with a draft package deal. If you've made it this far, we appreciate you, and check out our channel for more NFL draft content. Check out our website, link in the description below, to our full wide receiver breakdowns.